Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, it's Saturday and it's fall. I got my hat on. It's the first time I've worn a hat. It's like the first time you turn on the furnace at your house. Anyway, it's a thing. So it's Saturday, I had more time, and so I drove out to Greenbrier State Park. I used to do mountain bike races out here a lot. So I kind of knew the area, and I'm like, I'm gonna go hang out there. And I never noticed it before, but it's like 2 miles away, which out here in the silence of the mountains, it might as well be right there at the bottom of the hill. But anyway, there's a speedway, so they do quarter-mile drag racing of cars, so you'll hear them at some point in time. For a while you hear them all a lot, and then you don't hear them for 5 minutes maybe, but there it goes. That's a quiet one. Must be a guy running by himself instead of two racing against each other. But anyway, I like cars, but that was never really my thing. But so anyway, let's get on with it. Now you'll know what that sound is. And was thinking about this whole concept of, why go out in the woods in the middle of the day every day anyway? And I really feel like, where do I start? But, and the weird coincidences and synchronicities of life that got me here is 10 videos easy. But that's just fun fodder for me to festively fuster over. I don't know, I had something going there in my head. I was like, what are all those F words? Anyway, so I was fantasizing about, the past pieces that all came together to put me where I am. That's fun stuff to sift through while you're walking through nature. It's a lot easier when you're out walking in nature, but first you want to go, as I always say, to the helicopter view. Who are you really? This energy ball of a person hovering around planet Earth while it's spinning, half a, 500,000 miles an hour or something we're flying through the galaxy. Anyway, it's a lot. It's really fast. So we don't have a concept of what's really going on, but we know we're just all part of this soupy vibrational mess that Einstein talked about a long time ago, and lots of people talked about way before Einstein. But he finally could put it into some math where people who are very earthbound can say, I do see there's something to this. But anyway, so to get into that helicopter view / spaceship view of who you really are, you need to use your imagination, not your brute strength, and not your packed away knowledge, or your knowledge that you can get your fingers on real quick from, your phone or something like that. It's your imagination. It's your vibration of what do you feel in your ethers, or in your aura, or in your soul, whatever. What do you feel? Well, you got to slow down sometimes to start to feel something. But either way, there's the little fun thing you can think about is, do you feel, AKA resonate with, AKA get attracted to, AKA find yourself in the middle of? All right, hold those 3 or 4 different things in the direction of things that are going wrong, have gone wrong, and might go wrong. Now think about it, that's a lot of stuff. Did go wrong, is going wrong, might go wrong. It's a big category of things to think about. But are you more in that camp more often of the day, or are you in the side of, I can't wait for this to unfold. I know this is coming. Here's 2 possibilities that both seem equally superb, and I can't wait for it all to happen. The only thing holding me back is I don't want it to happen too fast, because I want to enjoy the process, because I'm so committed to this side of the way the universe works. This is the creating on purpose, and this is creating by default reaction. So nobody's going to say, oh yeah, I want to be this way. No. And people are going to say, yeah, I want to go that way. I guess that makes sense. Doesn't sound very realistic. That's coming from this side. Not very realistic. I like to be a little more, realistic about things, and let's be honest and be straightforward. It's like, life is tough, and it's like, I'm talking from the helicopter view, buddy. We'll get to that question when you get a better sense of the helicopter view. In the helicopter view, you want to focus less on things that seem to be going wrong, have gone wrong, or might go wrong, and more on things that how the past was perfectly orchestrated to get you where you are. But that doesn't mean anything unless where you are, you know, is perfection and what an opportunity. And all I have to do is dream about where I want to go next in the next like moment, you know? I mean, it's happening live on the scene. You can't read about it. You can't talk to other people about it. You can't watch TV about it. You can't go to your phone about it. You can't have remembered it. You can't think of it. It's the now. It's the feeling that you have in the now. That's all you're trying to clean up. So how can I say, do this, don't say that, you know, and do more of, you know, do this type of breathing and this type of meditation? I'm just walking in the woods. But I'm chasing that mindset of everything feels perfect. And I can sense it in my breath. And you do it a few times and things start popping and you just have your little dialogue you go through to, you know, when things are feeling a little funky, you get into a little sidetrack, you're walking down a sort of dark trail and next thing you know, you feel a little funny and you just say, whoa. Oh, Dan, are you needing a little comforting about something you did in the past? Oh, that happens. There's stuff that we sometimes just hits you something you need to do, like, oh, I was supposed to do this. Wham, there goes my moment of blissful enjoyment of my life. And all of a sudden this to-do pops up. It's like, now I can't get to the helicopter view. I got to go fester over how to fix that to-do. And so that, I would say, is a to-do that was really something from the now of long ago that probably should have been dealt with, because it's a big anchor thing that you're dragging along every day. You need to either decide you don't need to ever do it, or hand it off to someone and hand it off feeling worthy that it's going to be handled, or be in the positive moment at the beginning of it's to do and get out ahead of it vibrationally where you feel better about the outcome. You know this is going to go well, and you know things are always working out for you. I feel like I'm really chanting Abraham Hicks, but she's just doing the same thing, tapping into your true sense of who you are, into the collective consciousness. Then you get vibrationally educated. That's really what it's at. I know for sure my grandchildren are not going to be taught in schools anything close to what anybody resembles of what's going on in school now. It's not about learning things and learning how matter works. Matter's the end result. We were just playing with things, trying to figure something out. You go right to the energy side of things. The energy controls the matter. That's how healing's happening. That's where doctors are going to be coming from. And all this information that I'm talking about, we're going to share energetically, not through words. You're not going to read a book and sit down in a classroom and have somebody ask you to tell me back now what you think you've learned. This kind of understanding, it's really tough to regurgitate. It's tough to put words to what the experience is of pursuing some hours every day, leaning only, exclusively, and with all the tricks and bells and whistles you can pull to get yourself to lean in the direction of it's all perfect. Now, admittedly, I never was really buried down here anyway. You know, I probably was always dancing around here anyway. And honestly, I felt like it was a point in my life where I'm like, either I'm going to double down on this process and see what it's all about, or die regretting that was the one thing I didn't do, because I pretty much just conquer whatever I want to do, because I've always had that sense of everything's working out for me. I don't know why. My parents left me alone. I think that was a big trick. 6 of 7 kids, I went to kindergarten, walked on my own, and got myself up. My mom was still in bed. I went off to school. I didn't always go. That's how it really sticks in my mind. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't always go, and I got caught once. I learned my lesson. The rest of my life, I still skip school all the time. I never got caught again. But anyway, you know, so that's a big piece of it. Just leave people alone is much better than projecting my fears onto my children, or my parents projecting their fears onto me, and their sense of lack, and their sense of doubt, and their sense of what is the big picture. Because the helicopter view, everybody's got one. So grab a camera, put it out there, and profess the best version of yours that you can think of. That's magical. What I'm doing here for myself is so much bigger than what you're getting listening. That doesn't mean don't listen, because if I can encourage you to lean this side, don't you think that's the most important thing? When you're leaning to this side and you're focusing on what's going wrong and you're attracting more wrongness, by principle of the helicopter view, you can see that doesn't sound good. You're right. If I put some energy into just play with the possibility that there might be creative visualization, but that's not really the word, manifestations, I don't know. You know, all the buzz lingo about creating your own reality and all that type of stuff in your own experience. There is a collective consciousness here, so we're locked into a little bit of a paradigm that you probably won't get out of because your beliefs would never let you go there. But you can lean your existence here on life much more to the everything feels good, and synchronicities are always beautiful and they're always perfect for me, and they're always going in the direction that I dreamt them they would go. And it's true for everybody, but you're just dreaming too much on the side of what's going wrong. You need to dream more about all the things that are beautiful that are coming your way. And so if I can help you lean this way, and you're not burying the needle already yourself, you really ought to be probably watching, this video. But there's a ton of tricks out there. I've talked about the one with tapping. I like the tapping one. I've had some really profound ones with the tapping. I didn't use it in my way of working my way up over the years. I've been at this for 40 years, sort of, but never really doubled down on it like every day. I'm going to be out here in the woods, and, it's been years. And I've been making these videos for over, a couple years maybe now. But not very, just sort of sporadically whenever it seemed right. But, and sort of just tucking them away. I created a YouTube page, and I have 2 subscribers, I think my wife and my daughter. Anyway, so, but those are, for my own archivals, or if somebody wants to, if I ever were to, check out and go to the other side, I would have left a breadcrumb trail of where I went. But anyhow, so we'll get into more about this stuff, but I don't want to go rambling on too long. It's Saturday. It's beautiful. I want to get back on the trails. So I think I'm just going to end with breath is everything. If you can turn off whatever's going on for a split second for 5 minutes, don't do like a 5 minute a day thing and someone else compete and they do, I'm up to 30 minutes like it's a sport. Just as often as you can become conscious of it in that moment, just be aware of your breath. You'll find sometimes like, ooh, my chest is tight. Man. Whew. And you just take a minute if you can, but at least you're aware of it. And then you just keep going easier and easier. And then you're just like, wait a minute, I'm going to take a minute and get my breath into a smooth rhythm that I know feels like I'm meditating. Doesn't mean you don't run sometimes or exercise or whatever else or be strenuous or be busy. But just sneak in as much time as you can and lean yourself to this direction. And there I think I've recapped what I was talking about. So I feel like I've covered everything. Good luck. And, we'll keep chatting. And, whatever draws you. If it's sitting next to a potted plant in front of a window, bang on. Just what direction to lean. That's why I just keep emphasizing. It's what direction do you want to lean? Lean away from the things we worry about and lean towards the things we're excited about coming. You're amazed how much people don't talk about the beautiful things coming. It's because they're not focused that direction. So when you start spitting out love bombs all the time about yourself and others around you and people that you really appreciate and making sure they understand how much you appreciate them, not with, you did a good job on this and that. It's like, no, from the helicopter view. I'm so glad to have this chance to have our 2 energy balls commingling in the same space on the planet, in the galaxy at this time. It's a weird conversation. I don't know where that came from, but you know what I mean from the helicopter view. But you feel that way and you share it in the, I think you're perfect just the way you are. That's easy to see from the helicopter view, right? What could you do wrong, really? There's nothing here to do, nothing we need to get done, nothing we could do wrong, can't mess it up. So just go have fun. But do it. Push on. Keep going. Turn away from the fear. Self-doubt. That's the big one. I'll leave you with that. Meditate on self-doubt. Self-doubt and unworthiness, they're really kind of the same thing. But unworthiness stops a lot of good things from coming your way. Trust me. All right. That's all I can say about that. You guys, it just turned 15 minutes on the button. That's a good time. See ya. Love you. Bye.